We just broke the shiny code in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. What's up guys, SB Coop here. Apologies, my room is a mess, I just moved. Not prepared to really film a video right now, but I had to get this out because this is insane. For those of you that didn't see, I tweeted about this the other day. So a Reddit post by the user named ZQBex posted something just basically they were trying to figure out a way to shiny hunt Minior, which, as most people know, is a very annoying shiny hunt because you can't physically see the shiny, and make it a little bit easier without having to interact with every single spawn. And they came across some very interesting information. So normally, if you're doing stuff like picnic resets or you're just looking at spawns, the maximum number of Pokemon that can spawn at a time is 15. It turns out that there can be 16 spawns, and when there's 16 spawns, that means one of those Pokemon is a shiny. Regular spawns and shiny spawns are in two separate spawning pools. What's even crazier about this has been the case since the games came out. This is not something that was added in the DLC. It's not a bug. It's always been the case. It's always been that normal spawns and shiny spawns are in different spawning pools, which means you can get 16 spawns, maybe even 17, 18, 19. We don't really know. Now, I'm sure for everyone's first response is, oh, this is just one person who made a post on Reddit. Why should we believe this? Well, thanks to multiple people testing this out, including myself going back to videos that I have, we can confirm this is the case. Whenever you get a shiny Pokemon and you see all the spawns that are out, it's 16 Pokemon that are out in the field. And what's even crazier is it's not just isolation spawns. If you have 16 spawns on the map at any time, that means one Pokemon is shiny. When Pokemon are spawning onto the map, they are coming from a spawn pool, and when that number hits 15, it stops. However, if while those 15 Pokemon are spawning in, if one of them ends up being shiny, it's in a different spawn pool, so it does not count as one of those 15 Pokemon. And then the game continues to spawn Pokemon until it hits that 15 number of normal spawns. There are two different groupings of Pokemon where this is actually going to make shiny hunting them a lot easier. Group 1 is going to be Pokemon you cannot physically see their shiny spawn. These Pokemon are going to be Minior, Ditto, Zorora, and Zoroark. It is impossible to see their shiny spawns because you physically just can't see them. Now, with this new method, you could just go to an area where you can isolate hunt these Pokemon, throw on an encounter level for either dark or normal or whichever you're trying to hunt, and then do a picnic and then close the picnic and see how many Pokemon spawn. There's 15, there's no shiny. So then you open another picnic, close it, and you keep doing that until you see 16 spawns. And when there's 16, that means one of those Pokemon is shiny. You don't know which one it is, so you need to save the game, and then you go and you encounter all of the Pokemon until you find the one that's shiny. If there's 16 Pokemon out on the field, one of those is shiny. That is 100% guaranteed. The second group is going to be Pokemon that you can see they're shiny in the wild, but it's really hard to determine it without getting like right up next to it. Those types of hunts are very straining on your eyes. A lot of people just don't even want to try them. You don't have fun with them. But with this new method, this becomes a lot easier. I'm talking about Pokemon like Poliwag, Tandemaus, Tynamo, Flabebe, Pichu, Igglybuff, Charcadet, Petlil, Arrokuda, Tadball, Gothita, Sandy Shocks, Cutiefly, Poltergeist. You do the same thing we were talking about earlier with Ditto, Zorora, and Minior. Make an encounter sandwich, sparkling power if you want. Increase the encounters, close the picnic, check the spawns, count how many there are. 15, no shiny, put up the picnic again, close it, and do that until you see 16 spawns. When there's 16, find out which of them is shiny, boom, done. You didn't just run around checking every single spawn. It's so much easier. This is huge for these shiny hunts, so just absolutely incredible that we can now do it this way. Now I'll try and answer some questions I've had people asking about this. I may miss some. If there's anything else you have questions about, please leave the question in the comment section. One question I've seen a lot of people ask is it only available in the DLC? That's no, it's anywhere. You can do it in Paldea, Kitakami, or the Blueberry Academy. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you do it. Another question, does it have to only be an isolation hunt? Nope, it doesn't have to be isolated. It doesn't have to be an outbreak. Obviously, if you're trying to hunt something specific, you want to isolate that Pokemon and try to have as many encounters of just that Pokemon you're hunting, but it doesn't have to be an isolated hunt for this to work. Another interesting thing is Terra Wild Pokemon do not count towards the normal spawn pool. So you could technically have 17 spawns with one of them being the shiny, one of them being a wild Terra Pokemon that's in there, and then 15 normal spawns. Another question people have been asking is, does it matter where I am trying to spawn these Pokemon? And the answer is kinda, yeah, because unfortunately in Scarlet and Violet, you can have spawns that happen in walls and rocks, in the ceiling. And because of that, if you are not able to count all the spawns, then you're not really able to do this method. If you're only seeing 13 Pokemon spawning, that doesn't mean that that's all that can spawn this. It's like, no, there's not 15, there's 13 I count. Well, that means there's 2 spawns you can't see. There could be a shiny in a rock, in a wall somewhere. You don't know. So try to avoid doing this near mountains. I wouldn't do this in caves. Some people are asking, how does this work in co-op? And I'm not super sure how that would work exactly. I have no clue how spawn pools work when there's multiple people like looking in the same spot. I can't say it would work perfectly. You can test it out, see how it works. If it works, cool. But I don't know. I feel like that's gonna have some issues. So some people have been asking a question of, so does that mean that there's 15 spawns and you only get one Pokemon that's checked to be shiny? And no, that's not how this works. Every time a Pokemon spawns in, it's checked to either be shiny or normal and spawns in. When it's shiny, it goes into its own spawn pool, and then the regular spawns keep happening until that number hits 15. Technically, since we don't know how the separate spawn pool works, while it's trying to spawn in 15 normal Pokemon, if every one of those kept being shiny, it potentially could just continuously spawn in shiny Pokemon over and over and over and over. Once the game hits 15 normal Pokemon, it stops spawning Pokemon in. So, in summary, it turns out Pokemon have a 15 spawn pool. We already knew about that. But when a shiny Pokemon appears, that means that 16 Pokemon can be on the field at the same time. This only happens when there's a shiny Pokemon or a Terra wild Pokemon. They're their own separate pools, so they don't count towards that 15 number. Be on the lookout. I'm going to be testing this with Ditto and Zora. And yeah, that about does it, guys. So hope this information helps you guys out. Good luck on your shiny hunting, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Square.